So how difficult is it to actually live an unashamed life? Good day, my name is Micaela and I have a daily encouragement for you. So this morning the scripture comes from Romans 1 verse 16 to 17, and it says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew and then to the Gentile. For in the gospel, the righteousness of God is revealed, a righteousness that is by faith from first to last, just as it is written, the righteous will live by faith." So, I don't know about you, but in my life, I've experienced certain situations where we tend to be unashamed and we don't realize it. So, maybe you have someone coming to visit you or whatever, and you have your gospel music on, and now you know this person is not like really saved or anything like that, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, let me just put softer, or let me just like put it off and put something else on. And maybe we're not intentionally being unashamed, but and we think like, oh, I'm doing it out of respect for the person, but quite honestly, are we doing it out of the respect for the person, or are we doing it because we don't want them to know that, you know, we are listening to our worship and whatever? I don't feel like other people do that for us. When we as Christians walk into a home where there's worldly music on, or something that we maybe don't condone as Christians, so this can become something that we become ashamed about. And what Paul is speaking about here is that we should be unashamed when it comes to God, when it comes to the gospel. Because I understand that sometimes we maybe don't want to throw God into every situation, because it's like, oh, people are going to think I'm too godly or I'm too Christiany. But that's what it should be. We should be a bit Christiany and a bit godly, because that's how people will know us. And Paul makes it easier for us to understand that it's not us. When someone comes to Christ, it's God through us. God does it. It's not us. It's the power of God. And that's why Paul explains that first we come to know the gospel, and then it's the power of God that brings salvation to people. So when you are just being who you are and allowing these things to happen unashamedly, they will come to know Christ. They will come to know who God is because of the power of God. And then also it speaks about us being in, for the gospel of God is righteousness. And we all know that righteousness is being in right standing with God. So you need to ask yourself that question today, is that, are you in right standing with God to the place where you can be unashamed? To the place where you don't put that music off, you post that scripture, you post that thing that God is telling you to do, without being unashamed. So we have to be obedient to God to be unashamed. So trust in the fact that God will do it when someone is in the room, that you never know who you might impact. God bless you and have an awesome day further.